All right. So what's considered racist? Well, racism, or racism is something where there's two levels to it. In fact, there's more than two levels to it. But just to break down things like from a simplified version, as much as I can simplify it, is you have subtle racism, where that's really like a mind fuck. Let me give you an example, yeah? And this is from experience as well. It's like, in fact, yeah, well, I'll give two examples. One that I've heard from, but then one from personal experience. So I deal with the one that I heard from first and foremost, because I listened to this on the Night Baby show, and they were basically, you know, they were mentioning about with taking in food into work, and taking like just your traditional type of food and stuff like that, and then your work colleagues that are predominantly white, or even some of them are Asian, and then they would make a what's the word? They would make a a snide comment. You know what I mean? Like some will call it microaggressive, but it's like they would make a comment about it, and it's like they'll try to do it in like a joking way to make you think that it's a joke. And the moment you call them up on it, they say that you're acting, you're being aggressive, you're being anti. Like, you see what I mean? Like, huh? Like, does that make sense? Get me? I'm putting you up on it, and sometimes because some people don't want to go through that, and you feel like it could jeopardize your job as well. It's like sometimes you just let it slide. I'm not. Is it right to let it slide? No, but that's how it is. Yeah, and it's not even just that. There's also. I was gonna give another example. Well, let me give the example of my personal experience. So, and there was one time you probably heard this story before, maybe you haven't. But either way, I'm gonna mention it again. I remember like I was applying for jobs, and then now my name, yeah, is Rafael Noche, and so basically you can tell that's a straight up African name, yeah, well the surname anyway. So it's like, right, okay, you can tell if you put that name on the application form, you know that okay, we know that person's African, we know he's black, we know, right? Now, so I was applying, I was doing it online anyway, and in fact, no, I wasn't doing it online at that time. Well, there's two times I do it online. I was doing it online, but also I was doing like application forms. So I was filling it out, and then I wasn't getting nothing from them. It's like this is weird. Like it don't make sense. So one time I was like, alright, let me just change my name, not by the depot, but let me just test this out. I changed my name to Raphael Smith. Yeah. Lo and behold, guess what I got? I got an acceptance letter for, oh, not letter, but email to come to a interview. And it's not even just that. Deep that in the application form, right? Um, there is the so-called equality diversity thing in it, which they need to scrap. Yeah, because I was the first time when I used my actual surname, I ticked black African descent. Cool. Or black British. Cool. And then next time when I changed it to Raphael Smith, guess what? I put white. I literally no joke. I genuinely put that, and lo and behold, like I said, I got the interview. But did I attend the interview? No. I kind of wish I actually did turn up to the interview, and I would have loved to have seen the shock in their faces. You know what I mean? And if we could actually record back then, what could you? Yes, no, you couldn't really. But anyway, like, well, you could, but the thing wouldn't be as quality in it. But anyway, so yeah, it's like that. There's that. Yeah. So there's that level of racial discrimination where it's subtle. It's like it's kind of a mind fuck. And then there's another time, yeah, where I went to the shop, yeah, and a shop that I regularly go to, which I need to try and stop going to, yeah. Um, but and not to say it's a bad thing or anything with that shop, it's just that I'm trying to eat clean and healthy in it, so I'm trying to watch what I eat. But yeah, so basically, yeah, so when I went there, this white guy, like I don't know, you probably heard the story before. Like he did something. He said something. He's like, "Oh, how's Jermaine Defoe? I'm like, no. What was it? It wasn't even that. I can't remember the first things he was saying to me per se, because I actually vividly remember when a black woman with a child, like a baby. I think the baby like, I don't know, probably obviously it's probably the baby. Well, she was holding the baby. I'm pretty sure the baby was like the boy was like, how old was he? I don't know how old he was. I just know it was the baby in it. Get me? And like tutus now, like the that same guy is like, oh, the baby looks like he's like, don't you think he looks like Jermaine Defoe? I'm like, no, he don't. What are you talking about? And I kid you not, don't get it twisted. There are some people that do look alike. There are, yeah. But in this case, the baby did not look like Jermaine Defoe. Yeah, Jermaine Defoe, if you don't know, is a footballer or soccer player that predominantly plays in England. I don't know if he still plays in England. Oh, does he? I think he plays for Derby now. I don't know where he plays for. All I know, he's probably the other than Nicholas Anelka, he has played for them. He's played for many clubs. He needs to be rated as a striker as well because he's anyway. Let me not get into that. But anyway, so it's interesting how I picked up and I'm like, no, you don't look like Jermaine Defoe. And then when they were leaving, so the woman didn't say anything, yeah, and I could tell she was in shock as well, like, because that's what happens sometimes. Sometimes someone will say something like that, and you're so shell shocked, you don't know how to say, you don't know how to react. Do you see what I'm saying? Because you don't really want to cause a scene either, and you're just there to get what you need, what you're there for. You're not there to conversate with anyone else. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, so come out the when she was coming out the shop, she's like, oh no, not she. The guy was like, oh, say hi to Jermaine Defoe, or what, did he say that to me? I can't remember. I can't remember. I do remember him saying to either me or the baby or the woman and the baby to say hi to Jermaine Defoe. Now here's the thing: I don't know Jermaine Defoe personally. Even if I did and he was aware, then that's fair enough. You know what I mean? That's fair enough. If I mentioned that to him, that right, I know Jermaine Defoe, then it's like fair enough. But I'm not gonna just blurt out and say who I know because I know a number of people, and it's like I'm not gonna mention that to anyone randomly. Like it don't make no sense. Like it would only make sense if he were to say, "Oh, I don't know, it just wouldn't make no sense." So there's that level of racism where it kind of is a mindfuck at the same time because you would think that's not racist, but it is. Do you know what I mean? It's the references. It's not just saying the N word with your white or Asian. It's not just that. There's so many aspects to it, and the thing is, as much as I could talk about what is racist and what isn't racist, yeah, you know what I mean? We need to look at solutions, but let's look at the overt racist, yeah, because that's the other racist type. It's like at the end of the day, with that type of racist or type of racism, it's blatantly in your face. So you know if someone sprays like the N word over the door or your car or whatever the case may be, you know that is blatant racism. You know if they're gonna say it in your face and say, you know what I mean, like say certain things, like you know, it's just blatant basically. And obviously, yeah. So there's that, but it's like we need to look at solutions because the reason why there are racists, yeah, that exist, some people are not aware that they're racist until a certain situation happens. So the thing is, what you need to realize is racism is an ideology that is actually taught subconsciously, yeah, via mainstream media from an early age, and also in the mainstream education as well, yeah, because they depict black people in a certain way versus depicting white people in a certain way, yeah, like it. That's how it is. Like I kid you not. Like there's a reason why they do that. Like there's a reason why they do that. There's literally a reason, which is for me like you know I'm done talking about the subject. It's really because everyone it's mad how 99.9% of black people, yeah, whether they identify as black or identify as African or whatever, as long as they got melanin, whether they're light skin or dark or brown or whatever, they go through a level of racism. Some may not be fully aware that they're experiencing racial abuse. You know what I mean? Because they see it as normal. Like, because it's like in football as well, and as what some of you call it soccer, it's like when I saw something that one footballer said about his teammate, and he's not even just said it once. He's done something similar. You know what I mean? And then there's some black people that also joke within themselves, and it's like they've taken it on. Do you see what I mean? And then it's mad, it's flipping mad. But let's just get into the solution. The solution really is basically teaching about humanity. You know what I mean? Because race in general, yeah. Before I get out of here, like race in general is just a social construct. That's all it really is. Yeah, created by the oppressors and colonizers to keep us oppressed and divided. We're human beings, blood. Just because we may look different, and yeah, we may have different characteristics, but a man is a man and a woman is a woman. You know what I mean? Like we all essentially want the same thing. We just go about it in a different way to get it. You see what I'm saying? So, and I'm not just saying that in a like there's neither one is inferior or superior. We just is. We just is. It is like it's like yeah. You could say with like the animal kingdom, right? If you look at cats, yeah, you can say a cheetah is superior to, or no, a cheetah is inferior to a lion. But is it? Which one's faster, the cheetah or the lion? So you're looking in certain levels. You know what I mean? But even I don't know. It's just mad. It's just mad. But yeah. What we need to do is if you click the link in the description box below, it says make a donation. You can make a donation of any amount where we will be able to put things into place where we be able to stop racism once and for all. Yeah, because like I said, it just comes down to education. Yeah, we want to put certain things in place where overall, over time, yeah, it's not gonna happen overnight, but over time, racism will like fizzle out. You know what I mean? Like people are already becoming more aware now. It's just more of like the older generation, but the younger generation, yeah, there's some little bits here and there, but we need to hone in that and just make sure that these things don't exist anymore. Yeah. But anyway, got any suggestions you want me to react to next or do a review on or talk about? Leave that in the comment section below. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification because you never know the video you suggest might just be next.